We got something for you guys here that just absolutely surprised me. Now, as y'all know, back in 2020, during the pandemic, and we're in a lockdown, we got a gift, a sports gift, right? For those of you who follow sports, they chronicled the life and times and basically the story around the 6 championships and the career of Michael Jordan with The Last Dance. It was released on Netflix, at least that's where I saw it. And also, I believe ESPN had the rights to it. All of us watched it. It was fantastic. It was fantastic to watch if you're a sports fan, and the conversation that ensued after it, literally after every single episode was released, was just a lot of fun, right? A lot of fun to cover. I think we were covering the NBA at that time, but I don't really think we spent that much time on it back then. But anyway, so we all remember the aftermath of that. Now, since the release of The Last Dance docuseries, there's been some drama, right? The drama, particularly from the side of Scottie Pippen towards Michael Jordan. After The Last Dance was released, Scottie Pippen went on the Dan Patrick Show. And just started going off on Jordan, basically saying that Jordan was controlling the cameras. He said Phil Jackson was a racist, and it was just one thing after the other, after the other, after the other. Then later on, we heard from Charles Oakley, who's a mutual friend of the two of them and a friend of Michael Jordan. He basically said that relationship, the bridge has been burned. Then you heard Stephen A. Smith reiterate the same thing. I mean, it just got really messy. It just got really, really messy. In the midst of all of that, we never got a chance to hear MJ respond. He never actually publicly responded to the things that Scottie Pippen was saying about him. As more time went on, we started to hear some rumblings out there that, in fact, it also had something to do with money, right? That, in fact, the people that participated in the docuseries were not compensated, and the report was MJ made $10 million from the proceeds of The Last Dance, which, by the way, I think it's important that we mention, was donated. It wasn't like as if he made the $10 million and it went into his pocket. And I don't think that Michael Jordan what's $10 million to Michael Jordan? Come on, like, really, what's $10 million to somebody that's worth well over $1 billion? Like, so to me, that was it. But then this morning, came across an article here from the Sports Rush about some information that absolutely surprised me. So let me just get right into it. It starts off with the headline: having unfairly made $10 million from The Last Dance, Michael Jordan wants to release documentary on his Wizards days. Michael Jordan had one of the most illustrious and most entertaining careers in the history of North American sports, so much that a documentary about his life and the Chicago Bulls had the entirety of the world at a standstill, waiting for each and every episode of the docuseries to drop during spring of 2020. The Last Dance was both a commercial and critical success, with Jordan bringing in a reported $10 million from it. This figure, according to Scottie Pippen, who claimed in his memoir that MJ unfairly received compensation for the docuseries, while no other Bulls player was given a penny from its earnings. Other reports have stated that Jordan earned $4 million from the 10-episode series. He would reportedly donate every last bit of that $4 million as well. One aspect of Jordan's career that is missing from the 10 episodes of that docuseries was what he did after 1998. Looks like he's leaning towards putting that out on display as well. Michael Jordan wants to release a documentary about his Wizards stint. After refusing to come back to the Chicago Bulls following Phil Jackson's dismissal as head coach, Jordan retired for a second time. He would not play NBA basketball from 1998 to 2001. Instead, he took a job as the president of basketball operations for the Washington Wizards. Eventually, he would ask head coach Doug Collins if he still thought he could play in the NBA. After Collins said yes, Jordan would suit back up, but this time for the Wizards. He played in the league from 2001 to 2003, when he retired for good at the age of 40. After having released The Last Dance, a docuseries where he achieved everything he dreamed of, he now wants to release one documenting his time with the Washington Wizards. The Wizards were a middle-of-the-pack team during his time there, but it looks like this documentary is already in the works. From Sam Amico: happy I'm old enough to have been asked to help with the documentary on Michael Jordan with the Wizards. Details soon. Woo! Let me tell y'all, as I was reading that, I was actually getting a revelation. Now, before I get into this revelation that I just got while I was reading this, I know there are two schools of thought out there. The first school of thought is The people that don't believe Jordan is the GOAT, they're like, yes, we're going to finally get to see Jordan lose. We're going to see it. I can't wait to see it. Yes, bring it out. There's another school of people who support Jordan and like, man, these haters are going to be hitting pretty hard, man. I don't know what we're going to say. Let me give you guys the thought that just popped in my mind. I think Jordan deciding to release this docuseries, if it's true, I think is absolutely brilliant. It is absolutely brilliant, and I'll explain to you exactly why I think that. You see, Jordan, at the age of 38, 39, and 40, was not given the proper credit. The dweebs in the room will tell you, oh, what did he win? He didn't win anything. Hell, he never even made the playoffs. Let me tell you guys what's going to happen. If you have people in sports media that are smart enough that are going to cover this story, they'll be able to make an even greater GOAT case for Michael Jordan that then already exists. The fact of the matter is simply this. Michael Jordan, let me just make sure I get this right once again for the dweebs in attendance. Michael Jordan, at the age of 38, when he was with the Washington Wizards for those 2 seasons, at the age of 39, Michael Jordan played 60 games that season. 60 games. He got injured because he's old. The last season, at the age of 40 years old, Michael Jordan played all 82 games. All 82 games he played in that season. That right there shows you just how durable of a basketball player he was to be able to. There's nobody who's doing that right now. Number one. Number two, for the people, for example, let's say LeBron fans, because it's going to be them. It's going to be Shannon Sharp. It's going to be Nick. You already know who they're going to be. They're going to say, well, look, what was he able to accomplish? I warn you guys now not to go down that road because you're going to lose. You're going to lose very badly. If you guys decide to open up your beaks and start talking about Jordan didn't win and this and this and this and this, all I'm going to do is quickly remind you of the talent pool that surrounded Jordan at that age and the talent pool that surrounded LeBron at that age. Michael Jordan was playing with Kwame Brown. There's no disrespect. He was playing with Kwame Brown, Jahadi White, Jerry Stackhouse, I think Rip Hamilton, Christian Laettner, I think Larry Hughes, and a few other players. Name the players on that list that are Hall of Famers, probably with the exception of Rip Hamilton, probably who only developed after Jordan retired. You got that. You have those set of players. Now let's look at the crop of players that LeBron played with, or was going to play with at the same point in time. Dwight Howard, who's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Carmelo Anthony, who's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Anthony Davis, who's going to be in the Hall of Fame, top 75 player. Russell Westbrook, who's going to be in the Hall of Fame, top 75 player. How can you compare the talent? And by the way, Jordan's Chicago Bulls team. Let me just get it right here. I just want to get it right here because I think it's important that we get this right. Jordan's 2003, the last team when he played on, when he was 40 years old, that team, that Washington Wizards team, finished with a 37-45 record. Last year, LeBron, as a younger player at 37, alongside Russell Westbrook and Anthony Davis in stints, and Carmelo Anthony at stints, and Dwight Howard in stints, they won 33 games. The Lakers this year are on par to win about 33 to 35 games. I could be wrong. They may beat their record. So if you guys want to get into that debate, it's a debate that you're going to lose very badly. So don't even bring it up.